Street Talks, the Eric from the Eric from Street Photography blog. Currently here in Hanoi. Sorry for the ambient noise, you're in Vietnam, everywhere is kind of loud. So I wanted to do a quick review of the new Olympus Pen-F in the 17mm f1.8 lens. Long story short, I'm a huge fan of this camera. I think it is probably one of the best street photography cameras on the market right now. What I love about the camera is the old school design. So you can see it's kind of borrowed from the old school Pen-F. And the way you turn on the camera, this is actually one of my favorite functions. You twist this dial a little here, and there's a perfect amount of tension, and it actually really reminds me of shooting on my film Leica in terms of the pressure. And also the cool thing in the back is you could actually pull out the LCD screen, fold back the LCD screen, and it's almost like you're shooting with an old school film camera. And for those of you guys who shoot street photography, you kind of know how difficult it is to stay focused when you're shooting on the street. So oftentimes when we're shooting street photography, we'll take photos and always look at the LCD screen, but with this closed, you'll be less likely to get distracted. In terms of the technical settings, I'm a big fan of using P mode, which stands for program mode. Automatically chooses the aperture and shutter speed. And the autofocus on this camera is ridiculously fast. And I guess one of the criticism people give about the Olympus Pen-F or the Micro Four Thirds systems is that the sensor is so small, but I'd have to say the image quality looks phenomenal. One thing I've actually done is, one of the new things on this camera is you could change the JPEG image quality through this front dial here, whereas where it used to be the old school ISO button in the old school Pen-F, the film version. And the monochrome black and white mode number 2 actually looks awesome. I just only been using the JPEG images and they look amazing. And when you're shooting, there's pretty much no lag. The autofocus is super fast, super quick. It's almost like cheating. It makes shooting street photography very easy. Also, I used the little the little Olympus flash. The cool thing is you could actually bounce it off the ceiling, and you can see how it rotates in different directions. You could even turn it to the side, even all the way backwards, which is totally useless because why would you flash yourself in the eye? And it's very easy to use in terms of using, you guys turn it on and off with this button here. So I generally shot it head on, or you could bounce off the ceiling.
Why are you still laughing?
Or you could flash yourself in the eyeball. Yeah, in terms of the settings and the dials, everything has really good tension to it. It's very difficult to accidentally knock the buttons. I usually, when I'm shooting with this, most of the time I just use the LCD screen. It's just way easier to use. And in terms of the technical settings, I usually shoot at ISO 1600, 3200, and I'm just shooting black and white JPEG. And this lens, the 17mm f1.8 lens, once again, autofocus is very fast. Images are very sharp. The image quality is fantastic. I think it's probably one of the best bang for the buck cameras, not only for street photography, but all photography, to be honest. And whether you're photographing your kids, your friends, your family, whether you're traveling, it's also got a great weight. The design is amazing. And yeah, I'm a huge fan. You know, Olympus, you guys really hit a home run with this camera. Highly recommend this camera. Not sure what else I'd really want to say, but I think I'll just wrap it up. Limitations? I mean, this is just a design thing. There's just too many buttons. Like, you don't really need a function button here. And I mean, honestly, does anyone really shoot video on these things? You're gonna use your smartphone for that. So getting rid of these buttons, you know. And there's this cool new button here which could help you change like the contrast settings on the camera, but honestly it's a little bit gimmicky. No one's really going to use it. But yeah, otherwise I'd give the camera, in terms of image quality, a 9.5 out of 10. Autofocus about 9.5 out of 10. The menus are horrible on this thing, like don't get me started. It's just very complicated to set it up. I give the menus like a 4 out of 10. So hopefully in the future versions of this camera, or maybe Olympus, you guys could fix this in a firmware update. Simplify the menus, because even a photographer like myself, I'm very experienced with cameras. I barely know how to change the settings of this thing. But other than that, it's an amazing camera and highly recommend it. So until next time, guys, I'll see you guys on the streets. Peace out.